Yesterday, the Diocese of Green Bay released the details of its independent investigation into any past allegations of sexual misconduct that were handled improperly. Some dioceses around the U.S. are taking preemptive action to come clean about allegations of cover-up due to the looming RICO investigation by the federal government, as well as for the obvious moral reasons that we would hope bishops of the Catholic Church would take action to resolve past misdeeds by the hierarchy. I want to look at this story in some detail because we can expect to see more of this as time goes on, but also there is something else to pay attention to here. There is a certain way to handle this issue, and frankly it's not being done here or anywhere else really. Let's take a look at what the public is being told in general as of last night, January the 17th, 2019. Investigation finds 47 priests in Green Bay Diocese with substantiated abuse allegations. This was posted yesterday, Thursday, January 17th, 2019, on the Fox 11 affiliate in Green Bay. The Catholic Diocese of Green Bay is revealing results of its third-party investigation into its files on priests and deacons. The investigation was focused on finding any incidents of sexual abuse against minors by priests or deacons. We have to win back trust, and we're really working hard at that, said Bishop David Ricken, Catholic Church of the Green Bay Diocese. The diocese has identified 47 priests and released clergy names of 46 with substantiated allegations of sexual abuse of a minor on its website. Apologies for this ad, it's nothing I can do about it. There may be other people out there we don't know about everything we know we're putting in this, said Ricken at a news conference at Bona Hall on the diocese's property in Alouez. All but one of the names were posted to the diocese's website. That one priest is challenging the allegations, so his name was omitted. The diocese hired Defenbaugh and Associates out of Texas last fall to investigate the files it has maintained on priests and deacons in its 157 parishes. The investigation looked into any credible accusations of sexual misconduct. That independent investigation followed the diocese's own internal review. Sexual misconduct, as an aside, is a very broad category. The names that were on the list were very close to the names we were already aware of, almost to a name that there were no surprises, said Reverend John Garotti, Vicar of Canonical Services. The most recent offender was a retired priest, Richard Thomas, who was found guilty of exposing himself to a minor in 2016. That's actually worth noting. The most recent offender was a retired priest convicted in 2016. Keep that in mind. During his court proceeding, Thomas told the judge, "I certainly am remorseful. I am taking full responsibility for what happened." Thomas is no longer involved in the priesthood. He is just one of 15 priests on the list who are still living. No current priests serving in the diocese had known substantiated allegations against them. All cases have been reported to local district attorneys' offices, in some cases years ago, diocesan officials said. 2 clergy members were exonerated or had allegations determined to be unsubstantiated. Back in September, Bishop David Ricken said the diocese was hiring an outside investigator to come in and look at all the files to make sure they had identified any priests with credible accusations against them. We're going to invite an outside investigator to come in to look at all the files to see if we have forgotten anything. The investigation was initiated following the revelation by a retired auxiliary bishop, Robert Morneau, that he failed to report an incident of priest abuse against a minor in 1979. Ricken at the time said he believed that he was the only case where Morneau did not come forward to report abuse allegations to civil authorities, and he was not aware of any other such incident. In each case, diocese officials indicate the alleged offenders were turned over to the proper law enforcement authorities at the time of substantiated allegations. Ricken acknowledged sexual abuse of children as a widespread problem that needs to be better addressed. It's not just the Catholic Church, not just Catholic priests who do this sort of thing, said Ricken. I'm going to interject, this doesn't help. This happens in schools, sporting events, families, in the church, said Garotti. We're hoping to be leading the culture of recovery in this way. That is our hope. The task now by the diocese is to comfort the victims and show it's dedicated to being more open. In doing this, we're hoping the families, too, have a sense of relief that now, at least, the parishioners will see at least we're telling the truth, said Ricken. The diocese has set up new programs to assist victims of priest abuse, including a new victims assistant team. And Fox reached out to the local chapter of the Survivors Network of Abused Priests, but they didn't comment. I don't mean that the bishops and priests are atheists, though some of them very well may be that. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. This is a failure at all levels to truly live up to the requirements of the faith, to live up to the ideal of being a good shepherd. It's not a new problem in the slightest. Look at the Codex of the Saints sometime, and you'll see very, very few bishops on the rolls there. Plenty of priests and popes, but few bishops. It is time for the bishops to make the hard choice that's before them, to embrace authentic Catholicism, reject the lures of the world, and to teach the hard faith again, starting with teaching by setting the example of dismissing any priest they know of that are guilty of these heinous crimes or who are guilty of violating Catholic moral teachings, and calling out their fellow bishops for their dissent from Orthodox Catholicism. This will cost some of them career advancement, but it might turn some of them into saints in the process. If you like videos like this, like and share this video and subscribe, and click the notification bell below. If you're interested in supporting my work, there are various options in the description below, along with links to my Twitter, the Sources blog, and the Return to Tradition Facebook page. Thanks for listening. I'm Anthony Stein. Ave Maria.